Hey everybody. Before starting today's episode, I just wanted to read a quick review I snagged on iTunes. The review is titled Love the Show, and it's by a listener who goes by the name Butters. Butters says, I enjoy every part of each episode. Philip is a great interviewer. I have listened to every episode and some multiple times and still learn something more. I am happy to say I had the opportunity to be interviewed by Philip and had an awesome time. He made me feel welcomed and really comfortable. I can't wait to hear it and am truly grateful for the experience. Thanks, Butters. Having read that, let's get on with the show. Hope you enjoy it. Hey dude, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was pretty good.
Cool.
Getting house cleaned up, doing Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that your children in the background?
that's one of them. Yeah,
How old are your children?
I've got a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and me. My son actually turns 3 on the 1st. Me and him share a birthday.
Dude, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah. Best birthday present I ever got.
In one of our correspondences, you had alluded to your interest in DMT. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Can we talk a little bit about that?
of course.
All right.
What do you want to know?
Psychotropic presents Tommy.
So the first time I did it, I'm not even sure if I'd really even heard about it much at this point. I was in Seattle with my girls. It was my girls' like birthday, or we were hanging out with some friends. I can't remember which one, but we were trying to actually find some more Molly, is what it was, and we couldn't find any. And then we at our buddy's house, and his friend's like, "Well, I've got some DMT," and the mindset I had in that time was I'm getting messed up, yeah, let's do it kind of thing. And we bought it and we went back to our hotel room and we put it on some weed actually the first time. And I had a little moment of what I felt like I'd like kind of was like above my body looking down, and I could see us in our hotel bed just sitting there. And then nothing more than that, a little something, but I just felt like there was more, and that was, the first time, and I didn't really blast or anything. I didn't actually get much of the effect. I don't think we were smoking it right. From there, I got that, I felt like there was more kind of thing, and I tried a little bit again on some weed, and it didn't really work out. It was, barely any feeling to it, and I just kept feeling like there was something else, and I'd ended up having a friend who exchanged some, my fiance, she's an artist, and she was attempting tattooing for a little while, and so she traded some tattoo work for some, and we got it from him, and we did it in dab rig, and that time I'd actually seen like the colors and the geometrical patterns pretty intensely, but yet I didn't go full blast off with it, and I still got that there's more, and I tried it through him a couple more times, kind of getting the same thing through the dab rig and stuff. And then the time before I blasted off this is probably like my 5th time I'm trying it now, and it's me and my little brother, and we did it in his dab rig, and I watched my door I was looking at fold down into patterns and shapes, like in on itself, and open up like a doorway kind of thing, and then everything goes black, and I don't really remember. The only thing that came to me when I came back was that I'd somehow felt reincarnation is real. I don't know why, that's just like the thought that came to me. And I told my little brother about it, and he said I was just sitting there kind of looking around, and I was just going, wow, just like totally mind blown, I guess. And that's when I knew that there was something else, but more out to be seen from this. And the very next morning, I still had some, and I'm an ex-tweaker. I used to smoke crystal meth, and so I know how to vaporize something. You know, I've smoked that stuff, so I know how to do that right. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it like this. And I went and bought a meth pipe, and I came back home, and I did it by myself. I took 3 just as big a hits as I could take, and I held it in, and I watched the door I was looking at do that same thing it did the night before, fold in on itself, and then I was able to, I actually, instead of everything going black, I like stand up, and I step through the door that had just opened up, and when I stepped through the door, I came into the presence of, I mean, it was I call him the true one, and he wasn't God, he was like a God, and he, as soon as I, he didn't have an actual physical form, it was more like a really intense presence, and he, as soon as I looked at him, I was what felt like uploaded, like I plugged into a computer almost, and just unfathomable amounts of information were just being poured into me, and I just it was overwhelming, not painful, but all this information, and I just couldn't accept it and what was going on, so I was trying to reject it, and I think because I was trying to push this off, it was just more painful because of it. And I could tell he wasn't evil, and he wasn't trying to hurt me. It was just that I opened a do not enter door, that it doesn't matter if I want to know what's over there now. I already opened the door, you know. And so I was fighting it, and I would step back out through where the door was, and I would, on the wall, there was this thing that I call it the all clock, because when I looked at it, it was just moving in ways that doesn't exist on our plane of existence, and just numbers and patterns. And when I looked at it, I realized that our concept of time is just childish. It's a straight line. I just realized it was today, tomorrow, yesterday, then, when, and now, all at the same time. And then I move on from there, and I would go into where, because it's like I'm traveling through my house, yet I'm not looking at my house. I'm seeing all this other stuff, and I would have moments of I remember who I am, and I would touch where my wall should be in my house, and then a circle of physical reality would appear, and I could see it, you know, and then it would go away if I removed my hand from the wall. But I would step into where my kitchen should be, and then I'm in this like black, white, hot, cold, solid, liquid, all at the same time room. It's like I felt like I was at the very core. I call it the primordial ooze of the universe, like the very center, the goop that holds us together, kind of thing. And like I felt it was just old, like old. And then I would go from there, and I would step to where my dining room should be, but instead I'd be in like my living room area, and I was being shown that like all these different things. But that's when I start to get comfortable with it. But I'm going through this, and then I'm like, I'm in my living room area, and I open the front door, and I can even see outside the door and see like my neighbor mowing his lawn, and I'm actually like trying to yell to him, and it's like he doesn't even see me. And I'm like, because I just want all this to stop, because it's like I'm scared. I have no idea where I am and what's going on. So I start throwing everything out of my pockets. I throw my cigarettes and my phone and my lighter, and then I have that pipe. And for some reason, I just think if I break this pipe, it's all going to stop. And so I smash this pipe on the ground, and of course it doesn't stop, and it's still going. And this whole time, he's like there with me, the true one, and he's just watching, and like I feel like he's trying to tell me it's going to be okay, but I'm just not accepting it. I can't step out the front door. I try to leave out the front door, and there's like an invisible force field holding me back, and I'm like just like begging for this to stop. And then everything goes white, and then I'm sitting back on the bed again with the smoking pipe that I just smashed in my hand, and I'm standing up, and I'm stepping back through the door that had opened, and I'm coming face to face with him, and I'm stepping back out, and I'm seeing the all clock again. And then I'm go through this whole thing over and over and over again, and I'm being shown different things, like different parts of my past, and I believe different parts of my future, and I'm being shown alternate realities of myself in different versions. And I remember having the thought of that I snapped. I said, I remember telling myself, "That's it, Tommy. You done it. You pushed it too far. You snapped. You finally did it. And feeling that I was stuck here. I'm done. I'm dead almost. Like I didn't feel like I was dead. I felt like I was not there anymore. And I had this vision flash in front of me of my old lady coming home and seeing me just sitting there like my brother said I was doing the night before, just going, wow, and she can't snap me out of it, and then doctors can't snap me out of it, and then it comes to me in a room with a straitjacket on, just going, wow, and it just like fades to black there. And that's when I accepted that, I might have toasted myself and pretty much died. So I just accepted it, and I said, if this is it, then I can't do anything about it. The true one at that moment, like, he's not talking, he's like projecting into me. And at that moment, he projects into me what it feels like, what a baby's first smile and laugh would feel like. And like everything got warm, and then like we go through the thing a few billion more times over and over again, but this time it's more positive, and I'm being shown things about myself that I need to work on, and things that I would be troubled about that I suddenly realize just aren't really that big of a deal. And all these different things of positive things. And then eventually I get back to where I was, where I throw everything out of my pockets and I break the pipe, and I'm like I can like feel a physical body like still doing the motions and the movements of everything that's been going on, but I'm not trying to fight it anymore. And then the force field instead of everything turning white and starting over again, the force field turns into like a bubble, and it deflates out, and it just pops. And then I step out the front porch, and I can literally feel like I'm falling into my body, and I just sink and sit down right there on the front porch on the floor, just sink down all the way to the ground, and just fucking mind blown. And then after a few seconds of realizing what the hell just happened, I look up, and I used to be a devout Christian, and, I've had my different religious experiences and got to a point of believing there was a God, but, not sure what he was. To right then and there, I looked up and I said thank you, because it was the most eye-opening experience I ever went through, and I knew there was something listening to me, and it just rocked my world. That was February 11th, 2017. I've held on to the same piece of DMT that I had left after that day, and I haven't touched it since, because it scared the living shit out of me. But it's not that I don't want to go back there. There's more that I need to learn before I see that again.
This episode was produced by me, Philip Johnson. You can find a list of all songs used in the description section of this episode. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe. Also, leave a review. Let me know what you think. Lastly, if you have a story that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. Shoot me an email at psychotropicpodcast@hotmail.com, and let's make something happen. Thanks again, everybody. See you next time.